can't just argue that more women should be in the NBA. The state of things are to get their ass kicked. Team Reason, good to see you. I wanted to make a delineation between a problem versus a state. A state of being is really what I'm saying. Like there's like a problem is something that you can change, or a problem has a solution or several solutions. And a state is like, nope, this is the way that it is. Like, hey, there's a state. I am black. I can't change that. That is my state of being. I am black. I'm a black man. I can't change that state. Now, a problem might be, let's see, what's a good problem? I have 2 daughters, and my daughters can't get into the NBA, the National Basketball Association. You know, playing basketball with LeBron James. My daughters can't get into that league. That is a men's only league. Some people might say that's a problem. You know, I'm going to change that example. Black men are overrepresented in the NBA. Now, is that a problem or is that a state? Should we be recruiting more not black basketball players to play in the NBA because not black basketball players are underrepresented in the NBA? You could look at that as a problem, and all of a sudden recruiters stop going to, they look less at the player for what they're doing on the court, and they look more at the player for what they look like. And that would be attempting to solve a problem, or looking at the fact that there are more black people in the NBA than any other race, that it's a problem that happens. And I would say that is a state of things. It's just a state of things. If you're good enough, no matter the race, I take that back. I know. I used to play basketball, and I know the best guys are not necessarily in the NBA. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. But in this example, if you're going to look at that as a problem, the only way you can solve it is by only looking at non-black players to play in the NBA. Therefore, you kind of be discriminating in your own way against black players because you aren't giving them a look based on how they look. Based on how they look. Discrimination. Based on how they look. Sounds like a state of things to me. I mean, I remember when I was playing basketball, when I really started and fell in love with basketball, my parents were going through a really horrible and childish and foolish and long, drawn-out, arduous divorce. And I didn't have anybody really checking for me like that. So I found basketball, and on the basketball court there were people, and there were people bonding over this sport, people picking teams, and they were picking allies, and we had a joint opponent, and we were fighting till the end. And the end was 7 points, sometimes 11. If people really wanted to play for a while, we go to 16. It was great. It was fabulous. It was amazing. And I could just play. And if a lot of kids grew up either in a broken home or no father or something like that, and they're learning on the streets, so to speak, and they're playing basketball, then they might decide, and if that is mostly in the black community, let's just say, I think it's pretty widely agreed fathers aren't really in the homes, let's just say that. So if that happens, then what if a bunch of these kids decide to just really start loving the sport, right? And really working really hard at it. That hardness that kid is going to have by the time he's getting ready for college and potentially the pros is going to be great. That kid is going to be on fire. And if the black community has like the highest rate of fatherless homes, whatever, then it's not a lot of dads out with the old mitt and ball playing catch and making fire pits in the backyard so they can roast s'mores. It's not a lot of that going on. It's just angry, tough basketball being played. And that is the state of things. Then maybe, just maybe, that's how you may get later on the state. A lot of black players in the NBA. There's a lot of reasons for why there are probably a lot of black players in the NBA. And if you start looking at it as a problem that you need to solve, that's probably going to make things difficult. That'll make things difficult if you go around trying to solve that problem. Technically, it's not a problem. It's just the state of things. As far as statistics are concerned, I have one son and two daughters. As far as statistics are concerned, my daughters are going to be, they're more likely to graduate than my son. I would say that's the state of things. I don't know that that's a problem. We'll see what my son wants to do, but he's the oldest, and he wants to work, and he wants to do for himself, and he wants to do it fast, and he wants to do it now. And he said to me the other day, he's like, I hate being a broke kid. Like, he's really focused on that. I hate being a broke kid, and I hate needing to ask you for money, Dad. And I'm like, geez, what a cross to bear. I'm like, ask me for money. I've got some. You don't need any money for anything anyway, so ask me. It's cool. My daughters, I'm interested to know, and I will report back to you and let you know. But if that's not a priority of theirs, to not be a broke kid. So I asked my wife, I said, did you have that? Like I really need my own money because I don't want to ask you for anything. He just really wanted to be his own provider. Did you have that? She's like, no, not really. To be honest with you, she does not have that now. Insert joke here. And I just think the state of things, the wiring of the man and the wiring of the woman, I don't know that my daughters are going to be as antsy to hunt and gather. They could. I'll let you know. But I know right now my son is just like, And I thought back to me when I was younger. And I'm like, it became so crowded in my mother's house when I was 14. I was just like, what is this? I'm like, I'm not in control of me. I don't like this. I don't want this. I don't want to do this. I need to get my own stuff. I need to get my own money. I need to get my own, my own. And my son was saying the exact same things that I felt at that age. So I just thought that was very interesting. If you go trying to solve a problem, I could really push the independence out of my son. If I make him rely on me, I could push the independence right out of him. Push his need to provide for himself, which one day he will have to provide for his family and his children. One day he'll have to do that. I don't want to push that independence out of him. I've got to try to find a way to strike that balance between dealing with the problem and dealing with the state of things. And I got to let him know it's not a problem to ask me for money because the state of things is that you're young. That was a conversation I was having with him. The state is you're young. That will change as you get older. And the state of things is that you are unqualified for anything. So you're 16 years old, you got nothing, you can do nothing, whatever. Granted, I mean, you have the ability to go out and dig ditches and do a lot of manual labor. You can do that right now. That's what you can do. But now we're at a choice of, will you be creating more problems in your life? And if you do, let's say, drop out of school. He doesn't want to drop out of school, but if he wanted to drop out of school, would he drop out of school, start to go and dig ditches, and then create a bigger problem for himself and a state of being for himself of unqualification? It's just the joys of parenting that I'm enjoying right now and that I'm going to continue to try to help my son with and my daughters as they get older. And just the youngest two are, I don't know if you can see me right now because it's dark. My daughters are 11 and 5. So I have a ways to go before I can report any firsthand anecdotal stuff that I'll have with them. Can't just argue that more women should be in the NBA. The state of things are to get their ass kicked. Not for any other reason than men just have way more muscle and we're bigger. Not that a woman wouldn't be able to hold her own or anything like that. Too, had she not been given the exact same body. Like a short guy and a tall guy. I'm about 6 feet. I'm under that, really 5'11". I just can't reach things as high as Shaq. I can't do it. That is the state of things. That's the state of it. I can't lift as much as Shaq. Shaq has way more muscle than me. And I'm a man too. So it has nothing to do with gender or anything like that. It's just sometimes we tend to try to fight the state of things, and I don't like fighting the state of things because it just sort of seems unreasonable. I would like to solve problems that can be solved. Tell me what you think about what do you look at as a problem that most people look at as a state of things, and what do you look at as a state that most people look at as a problem? Let me know what you think. Comments below. What's a problem? What's a state? Well, you guys are smart. I love reading your comments. Keep them coming.